I'm Blake Leath, and welcome to the Gratitude Series. I'm thankful for you, and today I want to thank Dalton Jantzen. I first met Dalton in the late 1990s. I was facilitating a leadership workshop, and he was a participant in that workshop, having been sent by his employer. But Dalton was unique. He stood out. He was all in. He was up for it that day. We totally connected, and he approached me at lunch, and he said, Blake, I am digging this experience. Everybody's having a great time. This is fabulous. How do I make an impact like this one? We continued to talk, and within a month, he had joined that organization as a full-time facilitator. We had the privilege of interacting a lot and traveled to a lot of different locations, leading project teams, teaching workshops, one-on-one interviews with folks, a lot of coaching appointments, those kind of things. Let me tell you a little anecdote about Dalton. At the time, I was an account manager for a particular company, and Dalton was one of our lead contributors on that team serving that client. And I'd sent him to go facilitate a particular program, and I got a call from a somewhat irate leader at that organization complaining about Dalton. I thought to myself, golly, who's got anything bad to say about Dalton? I said, what's the problem? And he said, could you ask him to dial down his zeal? It's too much. And I thought to myself, if you think too much heart is a character flaw, then leadership may not be your calling. Needless to say, a quarter of a century later, Dalton is still at it around the world. That leader did not work out long term, and he was representative of a much bigger, deeper problem of that organization. Tip of the iceberg, if you will. They have now, sadly, been bought and sold 2 times in the intervening decades, and the culture got incredibly toxic by the end of it. And why? In large part because they wouldn't allow people like Dalton to do the very thing that people are thirsty for in organizations. So let's kind of unpack what makes Dalton so unique, so special. Let's break it down. Now remember, culture is you at scale. So as we talk about Dalton, I'm going to look at 3 elements of the 7 that comprise culture, specifically beliefs, language, and behaviors. So let's start with beliefs. First and foremost, surely, Dalton loves people. He's got a huge heart. I've already said that. He really believes, though, that people are important and that they matter and that they can change for the better. And in management speak, that human beings are an infinitely appreciable asset. Language. How does Dalton speak? How does he interact? How does he communicate with other people? Well, first and foremost, whatever their plights, be they personal or professional, Dalton cares about that. He thinks about those people. He asks about them. He encourages them. He incorporates a feelings vocabulary in coaching. Because, hey, feelings are the software upon which all that we think and do runs. He prays for folks. And no matter how technical the task, if Dalton's involved, you better believe that it's going to have a lot of light and a lot of heart and a lot of soul. And I'll tell you this, for the people that are in the receiving end of Dalton, they wouldn't have it any other way, nor would I. Let's talk about behaviors. Dalton is not a transactional guy. He treats people as human beings are designed to be treated, relationally. And if they try to put him in a vendor box, a pariah outsider consultant, whatever the case may be, he continues to treat people exactly as they are, which is human beings first and partners. He does not allow the kinds of things that he does to be discounted or marginalized, and he doesn't dial up and down his zeal based on the political correctness of the time. On the contrary, he stands by his convictions because to Dalton, business is personal. In conclusion, I hope Dalton's example encourages you as much as it encourages me. And remember, reaching great means you're barely halfway there, because if we're fortunate, gratefulness is where we'll all arrive in the end. See you on the road.